with that said, I suppose we better cover the week's television, starting with the Elimination Chamber. Sunday's Elimination Chamber.
I had no desire whatsoever to watch the undercard, so I just watched the main event.
Oh, really?
Me too.
Oh.
Did not have time.
Well, let me talk about the undercard then, because I watched in its entirety the pay-per-view.
God.
First of all, before we talk about the undercard, what did you guys make of the chamber itself? The new, or as they would say, the all-new Elimination Chamber.
Didn't really care.
I think that is good. It's good and it's bad. Did you notice that the outside of the ring was padded?
Yeah, I didn't like. Now, I selfishly thought that detracted from the match because you didn't hear the jostling of the steel when they fell on it.
Yeah, the clanging and the banging, as The Rock would say. Instead, they would just make silence. And
yeah, it took a little bit from that.
Although I'm sure after 15 years of, the rest of us probably said, "Can we not just land on steel, please? Can we fake it up a little bit?" And they put like padding over it. It did lessen from the impact, I thought. I really did like the way that it's a lot easier for them now to stand on top of the pods, and the cameras that would kind of, because they have the glass going the whole way up the side now that you can kind of see as the rest of the pods you can see from the outside. I like that. I like the lights on it. Looked a lot more modern. I don't like that it's not a circle anymore. That it's more of a square now. Because I like to differentiate it from a normal cage match or from a normal Hell in a Cell. I like that it's kind of circular. That it had a different feel to it almost. Now it's a square. Kind of took away from it a little bit. The pods themselves are cool that they open from both sides rather than just one. And that they had the camera on the inside of the pods. I think they need to work on the angles of the cameras though, because someone got thrown through one of the, I think it was Ambrose, got thrown through one of the panels by Baron Corbin. And you couldn't see it from the inside camera angle because the camera was pointed too high. So they need to kind of work on that maybe. I think, although this match was, I know we're kind of jumping ahead for a second. I know that the match was very good, was not excellent. I feel like with the new cage, it gives them a lot more in terms of what they can do to have a full-on, crazy match with like tables and stuff involved maybe. Whereas maybe the old cage and the way that it was built was kind of limiting somewhat. So anyway, we start with the first match was Becky Lynch against Mickie James. Becky Lynch got the win, I believe, with a roll-up in a fairly decent match. Not a lot to it, I guess. It was a quite good women's match without being an excellent one. In a bad match, Kalisto and Apollo Crews, featuring no heel turn, defeated Dolph Ziggler. At which point Dolph Ziggler beat the shite out of both of them and jumped up and down on Apollo Crews' leg in a chair. At which point the crowd chanted, "Go Ziggler, go!" and one more time. Lesson of the story is when you pair two geeks together that the crowd could not give less of a shite about, and put them with Dolph Ziggler, who the crowd really like, even in a handicap match, the crowd cheer for Dolph Ziggler and not for the geeks, even when he attacks them with chairs. Which, by the way, they did on Smackdown for like the last 3 weeks, and every single time the crowd cheer for Ziggler and cheer, "Hit him again with a chair!" And yet, even when they do it here and expect a different result, of course, the exact same thing happens. So,
yeah.
Oh well. In a tag team turmoil match featuring a load of teams, the American Alpha won by last eliminating the Ascension.
I'm glad on SmackDown this week they did away with the riffraff and they're going back to American Alpha and Usos.
Yeah. Good. The thing I have to say about this is American Alpha and Usos were the 4th and 5th teams in. And American Alpha won. And Usos beat the fuck out of them. And then the Ascension came out and they did the whole, the Ascension are just going to win this. But they did it in such a way that like it felt realistic. It didn't feel like unrealistic when American Alpha then just made their comeback and won. Like it felt like Ascension. Neither did Ascension feel like geeks for not beating American Alpha, nor did American Alpha make the comeback too quickly. Like it was really, really well timed out. The way that the Ascension kind of were picking up the scraps, and gradually, American Alpha would fight their way back into it and get the win. So even though I don't like the Ascension, I have to give them credit that this was very well done. And American Alpha got the win, obviously, in the end. Nikki Bella and Natalia wrestled to a double countout.
Oh.
In a match that was, drumroll please, 14 minutes long.
Oh, what?
To compare that, Becky Lynch and Mickie James was 11 and a half minutes. And Naomi Alexa Bliss, which was the championship, was 8 minutes. So, an extremely long match, which ended in a double countout, so not even a satisfactory ending. They just brawled a lot, pretty much. It was okay. It was very long, but it wasn't super bad, like you'd maybe expect that it was. Randy Orton beat Luke Harper in a very good match. A very, very good match.
Yeah, I heard that was good, and I did want to watch it, but again, time was such that I skipped everything, but I'm sure it was good.
It was very, very good. Luke Harper's better than he gets credit for. And Randy Orton is obviously very good. So they had a really good match that went back and forth, and Orton eventually got the win with the RKO. Naomi Barry. Before we go on, can you remind us, Barry, what did you say last week about Naomi and her chances of winning the title? Do you remember?
That I thought it was about damn time she got it. It was she's had 6 long years on this roster, constantly getting overlooked. It's not really fair, and it's Black History Month, so I feel like they desperately needed to do something, and they did. And I was very happy for her and her family and her friends, and God bless.
And that one Uso, what she is married to.
That's right.
Because I recall you saying that there was no way she was going to win, and I said, well, I think she will win, and then she did win. So I was very happy with myself on that one. She did win with split-legged moonsault, which very may well show up on Botchamania because Alexa Bliss was out of position on it. But actually, she rolled into the moonsault, so it actually looked like it had a little bit more impact than it normally would. So although it was kind of botched, I liked it anyway. So, yay. Yay for moves that look like they hurt.
Yeah, I like Naomi.
So do I. Yeah, she is great, and she gave an interview afterwards where she was emotional and she was happy, and it was good.
Yeah, and I saw there was a nice video of her and John Uso celebrating after the.
Is he the Uso's dad? What's that? Is that Rikishi's real name?
No. That's the one she's married to.
Because I only know Jimmy and Jay. Is John the third triplet?
Oh my god.
John is Jay Uso, I think.
I'm not convinced.
I just call him John Uso.
John and Jack, the Usos.
It's a little thing I do, Paul. You know. Anyway,
and then in the main event, Bray Wyatt did indeed win, defeating John Cena, the 2-week champ.
Yep,
living up to the Ric Flair comparisons. John Cena, AJ Styles, The Miz, Dean Ambrose, and Baron Corbin in a very, very good Elimination Chamber match, which maybe didn't exactly live up to the potential that, as good as it could have been, but was very, very good. And Bray Wyatt looked strong. He beat John Cena clean as a sheet, and he beat AJ Styles clean as a sheet, and also Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, a little bit of rivalry was set up there, leading into WrestleMania. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it did a very good job. The only thing I would say is The Miz was only in the match for about 2 minutes, and then it was
he felt like an afterthought. Although I liked what they did. They did the thing where he was like looking terrified of everyone, and then shenanigans went down. Ambrose pinned Corbin. Corbin beat the shit out of Ambrose, and then Miz got in for the table scraps and pinned Ambrose. So I liked that, but yeah, he was then quickly pinned after that, so it was not a big deal. But yeah, Ambrose ran wild. He dived off the things, and he was fighting with AJ on top of them, and they had some interesting camera angles, like because as they were standing on top of the of one of the pods, battling and banging each other's heads into the glass. They had a camera that was like on top of the box on the outside of the cage, basically looking in.
Yeah, it was great.
That was cool. They had some like crane cams looking down, like isometric view on the ring. That was cool. Although they have, did they get a job lot of LEDs at some point before 2008? They've been
I like the LEDs on top.
But they were like, when they were doing panning crane shots, like the LEDs were often in your face as they went past it. I just didn't like it. I also thought the big WWE logo looked stupid. But other than that, I thought the cage redesign was good. It allowed them more room to kind of maneuver on top of those boxes. Because obviously, it's an Elimination Chamber match. You want to get your spots where dudes go through the plexiglass and they fight on top of the boxes and they jump off the boxes and they go into the change. You want to see all that stuff. So I'm glad they have more room to do it. And there's no risk of an RVD situation where they might kill a man jumping off them.
They got rid of the metal grating as well.
Yeah,
replaced it with like flat black stuff.
It kind of looks like the stuff on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like the mats on the outside of the ring. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It makes no noise, which is bad.
Which is a shame. So yeah, and I liked the Corbin stuff. I thought that was good. I thought he got to look impressive, killing people in anger. So that was neat. And then and Bray won clean as a sheet, put him over really strong. So I think they've never really gone all in with him before, and it's always kind of been a half step and a half measure. But I thought for the first week of his reign, he won the title in a decisive way, and then he defended it well. So yeah.
I have to hear the time difference between The Miz eliminating Dean Ambrose and him himself being eliminated was 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
So he wasn't exactly in it for a very long time. But yeah, a decent show with a good main event and a good, Randy Orton and Harper semi, I suppose you could say, leading into WrestleMania. So apparently we have 7 weeks of SmackDown leading into Mania. So nice slow build of the various matches. So already on SmackDown this week, we did have we had the last 3 people in the Elimination Chamber: AJ Styles, John Cena, and Bray Wyatt had a triple threat match for the title, which Bray Wyatt also won, pinning John Cena again. At which point Randy Orton came out and said, "I will not fight you at WrestleMania." So that's very interesting. He said, "You are the master and I am the slave." We know. With 50 Shades of Grey out in the cinema this week. A little bit of
50 Shades of Bray.
There's the name of the episode this week.
Fine.
That's also the name of my Jordan Devlin Finn Balor fanfic that I've got going on here.
Oh God.
He said, I will not fight you at WrestleMania. And then they posed as the show went off the air. On Talking Smack, after SmackDown, Dan and Bryan did announce that instead what they would do is they're going to have a Battle Royale, or Battle Royal, as they call it in WWE, not the Japanese movie, where kids kill each other. And the winner of that will fight Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. So I'm interested, because obviously, I say obviously, but surely the direction that they're going to end up going in will be Orton Wyatt. So how are they going to, make their way out of this one? I guess that's what 7 weeks of TV can do, is you can set up these kind of things and take twists and turns down the road.
If it's all a ruse and Orton, he's pulling the wool over the eyes of the lads, then it would make sense that he would say that 7 weeks out, wouldn't he? I'm still not super clear on if it is a ruse or he's legitimately brainwashed, and the story is going to be his bounce back, his return.
Yeah.
To sanity. I don't really know. The other thing I was thinking watching this. First of all, the main event was awesome.
It was. I felt it was a little too short, though. Did you feel that at all?
For a SmackDown main event, I thought it was perfectly fine.
Okay.
It certainly could have been longer. They were having such a good match; it definitely could have gone longer. But yeah. But yeah. So my main thing was between the reaction he got in the match and also the reaction he got in his opening promo. I was like, "There's no way people are gonna boo Bray, or more importantly, cheer Orton for beating him, especially a WrestleMania crowd." Yeah, it's people were 100% into Bray as a face on this show. But who knows? I mean, look, people just seem to have this eternal love for Randy Orton. So who knows?
Also on SmackDown, they had American Alpha again against the Ascension, which they showed is going to lead to the Usos against American Alpha. Naomi had her title victory, I suppose, her victory celebration. And they also announced that next week we're getting Natalya against Nikki Bella again in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So look forward.
Well, this one is, yeah, so maybe this one will be good and they'll have a crazy brawl. I don't know, but God, end this feud already.
So, let's see if there's anything else we missed. Bray Wyatt's promo at the beginning was a little bit all over the place.
Baron Corbin killed Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, that was funny as well, because he threw him very clearly through two wooden tables, but there was a pyro that went off before he went through the tables. I was like, because I know they do this
that
a
looked
lot.
bad.
Someone goes into goes into the sound equipment, it goes into electrical equipment, and there's. But the pyro went off early, and then one of the sheets fell off one of the tables, so you can see that he just went through like a classic wrestling table. I was like, what was the pyro about then? Why did sparks go off? I don't understand.
And it's a shame. It's a shame that was so wrong when they so perfectly nailed the Luke Harper appearance before the main event.
Yeah.
Where Bray I was like watching his entrance and I was thinking, oh, are they going to do a thing where he blows out the lantern and Luke Harper's going to be there? And that's exactly what they did. And they timed it perfectly. And the crowd, either they genuinely didn't see, or maybe they had Luke Harper in a hoodie that he took off 2 seconds before the light went out, or whatever it was. There was no mumbling among the crowd. There was no cheering or anything like that. Bray blew out his lantern, the lights went up, and Luke Harper was standing right in front of him, and it was a cool little moment. So it's a shame then that there was something as well pulled off as that, and then there was the pyro foolishness. But
they also had Mickie James beat Becky Lynch in a rematch from Elimination Chamber, so they're 1-1 now. Then, finally, last thing I want to give mention to is they had a very short, because 205 Live is always on after SmackDown. They had a very short TJ Perkins promo. He cut what may well be the worst promo I've ever seen, at which point he was booed.
Yeah, that was bad.
He cut a bad promo where he looked like a geek, sounded like a geek, and then the crowd booed him because he was a geek.
And he's going against like the biggest heel on the brand, so you think it would be easy to get cheered, but alas.
No. So there you go. I'm not sure it works either. Given the brand split, I'm not sure how many people, like obviously I do, but have any real allegiance to SmackDown over Raw, but you're essentially having a Raw guy cut a promo on SmackDown. So even I'm like, boo! Go back to Raw, you fucking idiot! Die in a fire, TJ. That'll be my new catchphrase. I had Nikki Bella die in a fire last week. Die in a fire, bitch! This week's TJ Perkins, who I want.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I want him to die in a fire this week.
Die in a fire! Die in a fire, bitch! The most needlessly aggressive thing ever said on this show.
Very
was that the
quickly.
show last week? I hope it was.
It was last week.
I hope it was.
It was last week.
I hope it was.
It was last